Hey, it's Andrew. Welcome to Beat Therapy. Today I want to go through 5 handy hints in production techniques that were good. Okay, number 1, layering. Layering was really handy for me this week. I needed to do some vocals for a project that I'm not speaking about just yet. Project coming up that involved vocals, and I am not the best singer in the world, but I can do a reasonable job at karaoke. So I used layering, and I layered lots of takes of the same vocal melody on top of itself until eventually it sounded better. Layering is also handy for synth elements as well. I think I mentioned that in my last, that cybernetic beach balls video. There was a lead there in that demo which I could have invested more time in to make a little bit fatter as a sound. In those kinds of situations, layering, do it. It's good, makes things sound better. Cool. Number 2, seamless looping. So again, for this project that I'm not talking about, which is coming up quite soon, which is going to be amazing, there has been a need for me to do loops. There's been a need for me to make looped samples. Typically, to make a sample loop, you just set some loop points on it and find some zero crossings and hope for the best and hope that it's going to sound okay. But as part of a series that could be called Tools Hidden in Plain Sight, there is a fantastic feature within the Edison program inside FL Studio that will create instant seamless loops, and it's really, really handy. There's a quick synth lead that I made just using the Control-L looping feature within Edison. It took me about 10 seconds and works brilliantly. I also use it for more complex sounds, so there's a really nice ambient sound that I made as well. Control-L, tweak it, it's really, really handy, great feature. Number 3, which could also be called awesome tools that are hidden in plain sight. The granulizer within FL Studio is really, really handy. It's a great production secret weapon, really. It's for sound design, in whether that be for movies, games, or within music production, the granulizer is fantastic. There are lots of different third-party granulizer plugins, and I'm pretty sure Ableton has one as well, but the FL granulizer, it's really underrated. Like, many people don't even know that it's there. It turned out to be very handy. Drop a sample in, tweak the parameters, and before you know it, you've got some amazing sounds without spending forever messing with synth engines. Most of the sound effects that I made for Escape Vector were done using the FL Studio Granulizer plugin as a secondary step. So initially I would make some bleeps and bloops and tweak as much as I could within a synth engine, save that output, and then I drop that into the Granulizer plugin for an extra level of tweaking amazement. So yeah, check out the Granulizer plugin. It's cool. Number 4, the Resonator plugin within Ableton. It's one of the default factory built-in effects racks that you can drop on any channel, and there was an old hand crank telephone that I found in Japan and recorded that and then dropped it into this Resonator plugin, and instant ambient album it felt like. So it's a really, really handy tool. This sample is one of the samples that I'm auditioning for this upcoming project, which I can't talk about yet. Number 5, synth design. You can spend as long as you like tweaking a whole bunch of knobs and getting really in-depth into the ins and outs of synth engines. I find the whole thing a little bit confusing. Sometimes I'll spend the time in there and make sounds from scratch. A lot of the time I will just use a preset and move on to the next thing. So if you want quick output, don't be afraid of presets. The sound that I had in here for number 3 using the granulizer was actually started using the 3OS plugin in FL Studio. Basic white noise with an automated filter over the top, then threw that sound into the granulizer and made this. And it sounds pretty rad, and I made it in about 5 minutes, less. Cool. Mailbag. Yeah, feedback. This week's been really good. I've had a lot of people responding and telling me all kinds of cool stuff. It's Tech. I think that's how you say your YouTube handle. I need to give a shout out to It's Tech. He, for some reason, has gone to great lengths to recreate an XM module of the Battle for Volcano Island soundtrack. I don't know why, but it's cool, so you can check that out here. In related news, another one of my subscribers, Brian, got in touch and mentioned to me that his wife is a high school teacher, and there's a possibility that Ode to Failure might be played at a high school graduation or something soon, and that thrills me no end. That is hysterical and really cool. The idea that my song, the lyrics of which begin with the words "you suck," is going to be played at a high school, that's really cool. I'm excited. I'll keep the rest of you up to date as I hear more about anything that happens there, but that's really cool. Okay, until Secret Project gets announced and I can start work on that, I'm going to say bye till next time. Thanks for stopping by and have a good weekend. See ya.